organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, only 7 weeks left until graduation. Do seniors know where they're headed after they pick up their diplomas?
They can be annoying, loud, and hungry. Find out how restaurants handle customers after bar close.
And in sports,
Bluder's Bunch has landed in Oklahoma and are set for the Sweet 16.
we're bringing all of this and more coming up.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Greta Miley.
And I'm Abby Meyer.
New details are surfacing on the Germanwings airplane that crashed in the French Alps Tuesday. The collision, which killed 150 people, appears to have been no accident.
French prosecutors said information collected suggests the co-pilot controlling the plane at the time of the crash wanted to destroy the aircraft and took advantage of a moment when the other pilot left the cockpit.
Officials said screaming and banging of the door could be heard on the audio recording during the final moments. The German pilot had no known terrorism links, so his motive is unclear.
We will keep you updated as the story develops.
2 of Iowa's 4 mental hospitals are not set to close until July 1st, but one facility is already getting some of their patients out. Officials from Clarinda Mental Institute confirmed Wednesday they have begun to transfer mentally ill seniors from their facility to private nursing homes. About a dozen senior patients will be affected from the transfer.
Not only is the University of Iowa seeing an increase in students every year, but so is the city itself. A new Census Bureau report shows Iowa City is the fastest growing population among the state's metro areas during the past 4 years, beating the state capital. From the time period of April 2010 to July 2014, Iowa City's metro population has gone up 7.7%. Des Moines is not far behind with an increase of 7.4% between the 4 years. Both the percent increases beat out the national average into metro cities across the U.S. And students come to the University of Iowa from all over the world to get their college education right here in Iowa. But where are students taking their knowledge and skills after they receive their diploma? Megan Horhan has the story.
With graduation coming up quickly for University of Iowa seniors, I wanted to find out where students, both from in-state and outside of Iowa, were going. Are they leaving Iowa to find jobs, or are they staying here?
I'm not going to be staying in Iowa after graduation. I have a job in downtown Chicago, so I'll be moving there.
For me, I wanted to stay here, or I wanted to stay in the Midwest, but this job made me want to stay here more.
I didn't have an area preference. It was just kind of wherever was the best opportunity for me, and that ended up being in Chicago.
I was deciding whether to go to grad school or to take this position, and so I decided to stay, and I knew I wanted to come back to Iowa eventually.
I also headed to the Pomerantz Career Center to see some of the trends that they were seeing.
I can tell you that over the last few years, it's been relatively steady as far as how many students choose to stay in the state of Iowa when they find full-time employment or how many leave. And generally, it's right around 50% stay in the state of Iowa. In fact, the number for our 12-13 academic year was 49% would stay in the state of Iowa.
With about half of the 21,000 UI undergraduate students staying in Iowa, the Career Center finds that it depends mostly on each student's career goals and opportunities. This is Megan Horhan for Daily Iowan TV.
There may be one Iowa student who plans on moving to the big city after graduation.
And we'll toss it to Megan Sanchez for more in this week's Arts and Entertainment. Megan?
Thanks, guys. While many UI students hit the beaches for spring break, Daily Iowan 80 Hours reporter Devin Young hit the big city of New York. Check it out.
I saw 8 Broadway shows while I was there, and then during the day we just kind of walked around different places, so we spent a lot of time in Soho and Chelsea, the Upper West Side and Central Park. The first show that I saw was The Audience. The second show was Finding Neverland, The third show was beautiful. The fourth was Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I saw Hand to God, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, The Heidi Chronicles, and On the 20th Century. We did this thing called Rush, so you go the day of the show to the box office and you get really cheap tickets. Like most of my tickets were only about $30, but they still give you really good seats. So we actually end up having front row seats for a lot of the shows. Some people always say like there's something in the water in New York that makes you love it, and I totally agree with that. It's just this undescribable feeling. You feel at home there instantly.
For more on Devon's trip, be sure to pick up a copy of today's Daily Iowan. That's all I have for this week. Greta and Abby, back to you.
It's news no parent wants to receive. Texas student Jordan Britton traveled to South Padre for spring break and has yet to return. The 20-year-old's family reported him missing after hearing his friends came back from the popular college vacation destination without him. Authorities located his car near one of the island's attractions, but are searching for more leads to his disappearance.
Weekends in Iowa City means big business for local bars and restaurants, but intoxicated students can sometimes cause problems for them. Kramer Anderson has the story.
During the day, downtown Iowa City is a quiet and peaceful place to be. But during the night, on weekends, it is a completely different story. Intoxicated college students move in waves from bar to bar, and after bar close, they go looking for something to eat. You can find local food shops packed with hungry students at this time, and sometimes it leads to problems. Besides the usual mess created by these drunken foodies, sometimes other issues arise.
As far as any altercations, that's pretty rare. We may have some altercations involving two customers. We've had, in the last year, we've maybe called the cops 3 times.
So despite the rare altercation that arises, most of the time, these local restaurants just have to deal with the trash left behind and the occasional pile of vomit on the floor. Reporting from Iowa City, Kramer Anderson, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Abby, it's been a beautiful day today, and I don't know who could complain about the sunshine.
I agree. A lot more students were definitely walking to class, but let's toss it over to Katie, who's waiting in the weather studio. Katie, what can we expect this weekend?
Well, we've got a few more chilly days before it gets warmer on Monday. Tomorrow morning, it will be around the mid-20s, and those temps will rise to the mid-30s around noon and will hover around 30 in the evening. For that extended forecast, we will see a high around 40 tomorrow, and the good news is those winds from today will have died down. Saturday, we'll see some clouds in the morning and night with a high in the upper 40s during the day and a chance of freezing rain overnight. Sunday, there is a chance of rain all day, and we may even see some ice pellets in the early hours of Sunday morning, so watch out for that. Early next week will be beautiful, though, with clear skies and highs in the mid-60s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's all I have for you this time. Back to you guys at the desk.
Abby, the Iowa women's basketball team has been on fire this season.
Yeah, I heard they're undefeated at Carver. And speaking of Carver, they brought pieces of the net with them for good luck as they landed in Oklahoma just yesterday.
Hopefully that will bring them to victory. Well, we'll throw it over to the sports studio with Austin Luce and Chelsea Brown, who are standing by for more on that game. Guys?
Thanks, guys, and they may need that little bit of luck going in as the underdogs in their first take at the hardwood on Friday. We'll have that preview in just a bit, but first, it was a disappointing day on the diamond. The University of Iowa baseball team fell to Bradley University yesterday 5-2. Bradley's bats took an early 1-0 lead in the second inning, with Iowa's Eric Toole answering back in the bottom of the third to tie things up.
From there, the Iowa bats went cold. Iowa went 3 for 17 on the night, leaving runners stranded at third on 4 separate occasions. 5 Bradley pitchers combined to limit the Hawkeyes to 2 runs and 10 hits on Wednesday evening. Head coach Rick Heller said that the team will have to pitch better when the Hawkeyes return to action Friday, opening Big Ten play with a 3-game series against 19th-ranked Indiana.
And Big Ten action is starting off rocky for Marla Luper's squad, who fell in a doubleheader against Nebraska at Pearl Field on Wednesday. The Huskers recorded a 12-2 run rule victory, ending in 6 innings in Game 1 and captured a 16-7 win in Game 2 to sweep the series. Head coach Marla Luper said the team struggled defensively and in pitching.
We just got to throw ahead in counts with pitchers and not allow too many free passes, and then just kind of play a little more solid defense sometimes. We've had great defense at times and not at others. And we just got to make quicker adjustments offensively to give ourselves a chance. But, our kids are scrapping. They're not going to give up. They don't say, yeah, they got 4 runs, I'm done, not playing anymore. They're going to scrap. They kept coming back in that game to allow us to continue to play 7 innings to really finish that ball game.
One accolade was awarded to senior Megan Blank during the series. Blank is now the new Iowa record holder for career doubles as she tallied her 53rd in the second game against Nebraska. Up next, the Hawkeyes matchup against the Wolverine has been pushed back due to inclement weather with the 3-game series set to begin on Saturday.
And Lisa Bluter's bunch also on the road as they appear in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. After a tough run in the Big Ten tournament, the team bounced back quickly, dominating in their first 2 games, ending with a perfect record in Carver.
The team will make their 6th Sweet 16 appearance in school history when they play Baylor on Friday. Taylor Brooks is standing by to set the scene for this hardwood battle. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. You have it right when you say it's going to be a battle. This will be the first time Iowa and Baylor have ever played against each other in a women's basketball game, making it extremely important to break down what exactly to expect come game time. Iowa and Baylor both only have a single digit when it comes to the loss side of their season. Iowa stands at a 26-7 record, while Baylor stands at a 32-3 record. But don't let Baylor's only 3 losses scare you. The Hawkeyes and Lady Bears share 3 common opponents: Arkansas, Iowa State, and Michigan State. While Iowa lost to Arkansas 77-67, and Baylor defeated Arkansas 73-44, both Iowa and Baylor beat Michigan State. But there's one more: Iowa State. Baylor split the series while Iowa defeated the in-state rival 67-76. Coach Lisa Bluter is aware of Baylor's strengths, but they also know their own strengths.
We know Baylor's a great team. They've only lost 3 times all year. We understand that, but at the same time, we feel like we have a high offensive team that could give them problems. We understand they have a great point guard in Johnson, who's leading the country in assists at 9 per game. And we have our point guards 3rd in the country in assists, so it's kind of an interesting matchup there.
Baylor's leading scorer, Nina Davis, averages 20.9 points per game, as well as 8.3 rebounds, making her a dominant threat.
Davis is a great player for them. As a sophomore, she was the Big 12 Player of the Year. Pretty impressive. She gets to the free throw line a lot. She crashes the boards extremely well.
But the Hawkeyes have some threats as well, as 4 Hawkeyes are averaging in double digits. Allie Disterhoff stands at 15.2 points, Melissa Dixon at 14.9, Sam Logic at 13.4, and the forward, Bethany Doolittle, at 14.1.
That's the beauty of our team. We have so many threats offensively. On any given night, anyone can go off, and that just makes us very difficult to guard because you can take away one thing, but there's going to be 4 other things wide open.
The winner of this game will advance to the Elite 8 to play number 1 seeded Notre Dame or number 4 seeded Stanford. Chelsea, Austin, back to you guys.
The Elite 8 game will be on Sunday, March 29th, beginning at 7:30. If the Hawkeyes advance, it will be their 4th time appearing in the Elite 8 in school history.
And that'll about wrap things up for us here in the sports studio tonight. Before you go, if you're around campus this weekend, make sure to check out the NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships.
4 sessions remain with 5 individual Hawkeyes competing for a title. Earlier today, the 400 medley team finished 19th overall and did not advance to the finals. However, the foursome of Betulius, Trusov, Halsmer, and Warovsky will be featured in tomorrow's competition as well as individual events. The semifinals begin tomorrow, followed by the finals on Saturday.
And make sure to tune in back into DITV on Sunday for your results of swimming and diving, as well as women hoops and how they fared against the Bears. Greta and Abby, back to you two.
Wisconsin basketball player Nigel Hayes had quite an embarrassing moment at a Badgers press conference today.
He didn't realize his mic could pick up a hush compliment he made about a female reporter. Check out the hilarious video.
Okay, gosh, she's beautiful. Did you hear that? All right, so we'll open it up to questions.
And don't forget to check us out at 9 p.m. on Sunday for the latest news.
Or you can check us out anytime online at dailyiowan.com or tweet us at DITV News.
I'm Abby Meyer.
And I'm Greta Miley. Thanks for watching.
And have a great weekend.